Namaste, cosmic beings. I hope you're well. I just felt to share some insight that I've had today, some really, really profound insight that I've had into something that's as always, really close to my heart. And it's to do with children. Um, so children, the children of this earth, particularly the new souls coming here at this time, and also the inner children that we have. And I've drawn a really, really powerful link together today, and something that I've been experiencing myself and also seeing in my clients, and I really, really want to share this with you. So in my journey toward motherhood, one of the things that I've been tuning into is the role that I play as a woman and as a mother to these new souls coming here. And I'm really understanding that at a fundamental level. And one of the things that I came to, one of the realizations I came to is that I am simply providing a body and love and guidance for a soul that is coming here at this time, because that soul is a part of the contribution, the support, the solutions needed at this time for this planet. So that soul has very much answered a call and is coming here to be a part of the new generations that are going to take care of this earth and know how to take care of this earth. So they have the wisdom, they have the knowledge, and they have the answers within us. And what I've realized is my role is to support and facilitate that and guide that. And there's a whole deeper thing there, which I'm not going to go into now. But that was a really big realization that I had last year. Now today, I've had another really big realization, and it's through having observed two clients in the last literally 2 days, back to back, both meeting their inner child, one of their inner children. Now, some of you might know I do a lot of this inner child work. I work as a trauma-informed therapist, and I support people, guide people through a process to meet their inner children, because we have many. And the process isn't just to meet their inner children. We meet just the parts, many parts that we have within, as many energies, but often we're meeting our inner children. And when we meet our inner children, we get to be there for those children in a way that they needed back then. Because these inner children, they were imprinted with the things that happened to us, the events, the experiences that we had as an early child, and some of that was taken on as a trauma, and our inner children took on the burdens of those experiences, and those became imprinted on them, and they kind of retreated, and lots of other parts in our system came up to protect that inner child. So a lot of our behaviors, the way that we manage ourselves, the way we manage our lives, the beliefs that we have, just all sorts of ways that we've constructed our personality and our life and our behavior is there to protect us and ultimately protect those inner children from ever going near that wound, because we don't want to open it up, or from ever experiencing a trauma again, or forever being in a situation that's anywhere near something like we experienced in the past. And so those inner children, they kind of get locked away often by other protectors. We call them protectors, other parts of us that are protecting that inner child. Now, the thing that I noticed, that I observed with my clients this week, is that both of them had a very, very young inner child, like below the age of 8 in both cases, that came up and that held such profound wisdom for that person, and was literally telling the grown-up person, you really need to hear me say this. So it's that inner child saying, yes, I know that we experienced this difficult stuff. I know it was traumatic. And yes, I did take on these burdens. But now the adult us, you, need to hear that it's okay. and that we can move beyond this, and we don't have to carry this imprint as if we are still 8 years old, because that's what many of us are doing. And what I realize is the nugget here is that there is often a part of us which really feels like us. Okay, so in internal family systems, we call this a self-like part, or in the yogic Vedantic tradition, we call this the false self. So it's a part of us that really feels like self, like soul, and wants to be self or soul, and is really quite a dominant, part of who we are. It's a beautiful part of who we are. It's very much has the agenda, our agenda of soul, like there, and is moving forward with our best interests at heart. All our parts are. But this part of us that thinks it's soul, or is very self-like, is the one that's often running the show. It's often the one that's at the forefront of the personality. And this is the part of us that the inner child is speaking to when it says, you need to hear this. You need to hear that I'm okay. It's okay. We just have to connect, because that inner child does need the love and support that it needed back then. It still needs that connection. But that inner child is saying to the adult part, self-like part, or whatever you want to call it, is saying, it's okay. We no longer need to carry these burdens around. We no longer need to behave and act as if we are still in that trauma. And in both of those cases this week, that part, that self-like part, which is very much at the forefront of the person's personality, really got to hear that, and had in both cases major light bulb moments, like, oh my gosh, I've just realized I don't have to. I don't have to behave like this anymore. I don't have to allow myself to fall into those old patterns and those old triggers and those old feelings, because that's not happening anymore. That inner child has actually moved on from that. And now this is not a blanket approach to working with all inner children. Absolutely not. Some of our inner children are absolutely stuck in a place where they still think it's back then. Like, the inner child itself is so stuck, is so sad, is so frightened, is so afraid, and is so locked away that it absolutely isn't in a place to have that wisdom to share. So this is not a blanket policy. But what really struck me was that in both those cases, those inner children had held such wisdom and had such incredible connection with the older part of us to say, I have the wisdom to share with you. Listen deeply to me, connect to me, and allow me to share that wisdom and allow me to guide you. Those inner children were guiding those grown people. And I saw this and I was like, wow, that is exactly like this sense of that the children are coming to this planet, the souls are coming to this planet because they have the wisdom and they have the answers and the solutions, and they know it's coded within them what needs to be done here. And I just was really blown away by that. And I don't know why I feel the need to share this with you. I don't have some like major interpretation, but it just really spoke to my heart and really spoke to these times that we're in. And I suppose if there's one thing to draw from what I'm saying, for me personally, maybe I'll speak for myself, it's that there is so much wisdom in the innocence of children. Their consciousness is clear. They're really tapped into the creative intelligence of the universe, and particularly up to the age of 7. Their minds are very absorptive, so it's really careful that we are really mindful around children, and we purify our own beliefs, we purify our own karma, essentially, our own conditioning, so that we can express ourselves and behave ourselves in a way that those children below the age of 7 or 8 can really remain in that pure, innocent state. So anyway, so that's what I wanted to share. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please let me know if this touched you in any way, if this resonates with you in any way, and if you have any experience of this personally or seeing this in the clients that you work with. I would love, love, love to hear from you. Thank you so much. I'm sending you all of my love. Namaste.